44K in Bitcoin. Is it time to take profit? I don't have a crystal ball either, but Glassnode recently brought out a newsletter comparing the current rally with prior rallies. Let's have a look. What we've got over here are the price developments since the bottom of the recent cycles. What we have over here is a very long-term Bitcoin chart, starting when Bitcoin was just a few cents all the way to today. And we can see how the price moves in cycles. We're going up, we subsequently depress by 90% over here, then we're overshooting once more, 7,000%, then another depression, minus 80%, and so it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and down again. And so it's very common to split this chart into cycles, to look at the lows of those waves and to look at the highs of those waves and compare those cycles. What we have over here is the comparison of those cycles starting at the low point. So in orange, we've got the very first cycle that shot up massively, 26,350%, then the subsequent crash. In red, we see the cycle from 2011 to 2015. In blue, we see the cycle from 2015 to 2018. And in green, we see the recent cycle, 2018 to 2022. Now in black over here, in the corner, we see our current cycle. If we understand the recent low of 16K as the cycle low, which would indicate that we are just at the beginning yet again. It's no perfect prediction. These lines don't overlay perfectly either, but it's an interesting first indication. Now, instead of looking at this starting from the cycle low, we can look at it starting from the prior all-time high. That's this chart over here. Again, orange is the first cycle, red is the second, blue is the third, and in black, we've got our current cycle, indicating yet again that this is just the start. More bullishness is ahead of us. Now, if you've been following this channel for a while, you know that I'm very bullish on Bitcoin dominance for quite a while. In other words, I do believe that Bitcoin is likely going to outperform the rest of the crypto market for the foreseeing future, of course, because of the Bitcoin ETF approval that's coming soon. This chart shows the crypto market since beginning of the year. In orange, we've got the Bitcoin market cap. In blue, we've got the Ethereum market cap. In purple, we've got the altcoin market cap. So yes, the altcoins underperformed so far. Now this chart is deceiving to a degree because some altcoins now are doing very, very well. Just the altcoins in aggregate aren't doing too well. But if you put some effort in finding wallets, in finding whale wallets that push altcoins up, and currently there's a lot of room to outperform Bitcoin. I do not recommend though to simply just hold a broad basket of altcoins, of 20, 30 altcoins and hope that to outperform Bitcoin. It's likely not going to happen. You have to be very specific, very concentrated in your bets if you bet on altcoin. Now there's an interesting dynamic happening on the centralized exchanges. The balance of crypto on centralized exchanges tends to continue to shrink. People deposit less and less money to centralized exchanges because the risk, the third-party risk, is becoming apparent, right? After the FTX collapse, people lost a lot of money, and so people rather hold self-custody. You can still speculate in crypto simply just with your own hardware wallet by using decentralized exchanges. Here are the videos that work on YouTube. XRP will be $12,000 guaranteed, or an AI explosion, top 3 cryptos to buy in November. A lot of pushing of greed, that's what gets the clicks. What doesn't get the click is a tutorial on how to make backtests, on how to build those sheets that in the end figure out what historically worked well in the past. The backtest that I often show here on this channel. I still very much enjoy producing this kind of content though. I also share these kinds of sheets, but I don't do it on YouTube. It's rather a small circle. We are less than 100 people that signed up for premium. You also get direct access to me. Feel free to check it out. It's thebitcoinstrategy.com. Now, a second reason for this drop is probably that some altcoins can't even be traded on centralized exchanges. When an altcoin is very fresh and when it just starts to get hyped, you can only buy it directly on the blockchain, not through the centralized exchange. Once a token gets listed on a centralized exchange, that's then when the price pumps again. But will it then continue to rise? That's not so certain anymore. So if you don't want to just allocate to Bitcoin and Ethereum, if you want to speculate in altcoins, maybe the centralized exchanges aren't even the best destination. Maybe it's better to go directly on-chain to learn how to use MetaMask, to learn how to use the hardware wallets, etc. Now here's the question in everybody's mind. How long can this rally last? is 44K, potentially already the top. We've already seen the comparison to prior rallies, and there we are just starting. But let's look at some on-chain data. Let's look at long-term holder profit. Because that's the beauty of the blockchain, right? We don't just have to rely on price charts. We can actually look on-chain. What are the long-term holders doing? What are the short-term holders doing? How much are they in profit? And are they likely to sell? What we've got over here is the percent of long-term holders that are in profit. The scale is here on the left, and sometimes all of them are in profit. And this also tends to coincide when Bitcoin is very, very high and potentially at the end of the bull run. When this is low, this is a potential good buying opportunity, right? The depression after the Mt. Gox and Silk Road collapse in 2015, then the ICO bust in 2018, and now recently the Terra Luna and FTX collapse. We always can attribute those lows to major events. And yes, the majority of long-term holders are in profit, but not all yet. We are not yet at these extreme heights that we had seen before when Bitcoin was really, really heated. So I can already see I'm simply just trying to add more data to the picture. I don't really know where Bitcoin will go. And anybody that tells you they know where the price will go are lying to you, probably even to themselves as well. The key is not to think deterministically. The key is to think in probabilities. Is it likely that we are going further up, or likely that we are going further down? And so you never should be 100% in cash or 100% allocated to Bitcoin. You should simply just have your allocation depending on what you think are the right probabilities for each outcome. I have dollar cost averaged into Bitcoin quite heavily in the last 12 months. And so far, I haven't dollar cost averaged out because I don't see any extreme values on any of the on-chain metrics, not just the charts here. That being said, if we continue to rise that quickly, then I will bit by bit sell off. You want to rebalance your overall portfolio. Besides the crypto holdings, maybe you've got some stock, maybe you've got some property, maybe you've got precious metals. You want to have this all in a relatively reasonable mix, right? When your crypto goes up by 3x and suddenly you've got way more allocation to crypto than you're actually comfortable with, then you have to reallocate to a degree. It also always makes sense to look at what the long-term holders are doing. Are the long-term holders selling or not? Currently, we don't see sales. I publish videos on this channel regularly, so feel free to subscribe. A like would be very much appreciated as well. It helps the channel grow. There's also a free Telegram. Link is down below.